Hi everybody, it's Nurse Shay Shay and Nurse Jaree. We're coming back to tell you about what happened with the strike, and we're trying to tell you guys about what we've made from the strike. If you have not known already, Kaiser Hospital and the union nurses did settle on the strike. We did not work the strike, but we did get paid for the strike. So just to give you some insight, I know you guys come here to learn about the rates, so I'll really tell you what the rates is, but I want to tell you the pros and cons of picking up a strike contract and what it entails. So if you're coming here just for the rates and what you can potentially make, we'll start with the LPNs. The LPNs for this specific strike, they could earn up to $7,000 for a 5-day strike. If you're an allied healthcare worker, it'll be $8,000. Farm, $19,000, and for our. Okay, guys, so I'm going to freeze frame the video. We're going to talk about what could be made, potentially made, what could be made if you actually work the strike. So this is what was offered to us: $1,200 pre-strike good to go bonus, which means that you've done your modules, you've done your pre-employment screenings, whatever that they wanted done. You had to be cleared for that. That was a good to go bonus of $1,200. After that, you actually got paid for doing modules, which is a stipulation before you got the bonus. So modules is whatever that you put in for the week, for that hours. It could be potentially 15 hours. It could be 21 hours, just whatever that you put in for payroll and how long you did those modules. So it was over $1,100 for that as well. They paid you out at $50 per hour and $75 OT. And then you had another bonus that was for $2,800. That's if you made it to the in-person virtual modules. You do that for the first half in the morning, and then you had orientation where you did the second half in the afternoon. So you get a bonus for actually being there, finishing all your screenings. So that was an extra $2,800. And then since you finished your virtual modules, they did pay you by the hour as well. So that was, again, $92 for the LPNs and $138 OT as well. So I made over $2,394 for doing that. Then they do have to pay you by law your travel reimbursement. So it's $500 there, $500 back, and it's $1,000. All right, in your contracts, they might say $950 for a settlement fee. That's if the company decides to settle and they come to conclusion that, okay, so they come to conclusion on the settlement and the strike is basically discontinued. So that was your settlement fee if you did not actually work. Now, if you did work, you were going to be paid at $92 per hour and $138 per hour if you are an LPN. Again, you can make your own suggestion if it's an RN or allied health worker, but the total will be $7,000 for 5 days work, 60 hours, and then you have per diem for meals and incidentals of $50 to $5 per day. So that would have been a total of $11,000 if you've actually worked the strike and you finished all your bonuses. Now, that's not even including your bonuses, your orientation pay, your relocation fees back and forth, and which I will tell you about a little bit later. So how I really want to get started with this video is how do we get put on with the specific company that we're with. There's about 3 or 4 agencies, which I will tell at the end of this video. And you can weigh your pros and cons about if that's something that you're wanting to do after I tell you how this goes. So 2 months ago in September, we signed up with a specific company. This company got bought out by another company. As soon as we signed up, we registered. We already had like majority of like our paperwork done. An hour later, a recruiter called our phones. We both told them that we were travel nurse partners, and she got us signed up on the mobile app. She was telling us, okay, you have to do modules. You need to do pre-employment screening, which is getting a physical, respiratory fit test, drug testing. Yeah, all of that stuff. 3 things. What else? Yeah, that was just about it. So me and her, when we did that, we were already on a contract, but that contract eventually did fall through because we was having issues with the people that we were working with and everything like that. So when we went back home in Oklahoma, we signed up to go to like a local little drug place to go get all our stuff done, right? So we finished that back in September. Then we got put back on another contract from another agency to go back to Cali. But she eventually went to New York. I went back to Cali and SoCal to go do another contract. But again, the recruiter that we had, and we did all of this stuff, right? We were up in the air of what really needed to be done. So say if, where I needed to go, or if I needed to do my pre modules and stuff like that, we could not get in touch with our recruiter to get any type of directions. Now, I was called about 2 recruiters in total. I was trying to call the second recruiter that got in touch with me. Maybe she could help me. I could not be reached by her. And then you had 3 recruiters. One guy did get back in touch with you, right?
Yeah, and I ended up seeing that was the recruiter that was on my AMN profile. Mm-hmm. And it showed his contact information, like how he was available to communicate and everything. But he called me. And then I received a call from another person who basically just ran down like what else was needed, what to expect, how things were going to go. And then if I needed to contact my recruiter even further, it would be again on the app. But that being said, when I did try to contact my recruiter, it would either take him a long time to get back to me, or he wouldn't get back to me at all.
Exactly. So that was red flag number 1 with this company. And remind you, when I do name these companies, they were having issues with everybody. Supposedly, this is how strikes work. It's nothing but chaos and confusion. But when you know us, we don't tolerate that type of mess. When we're literally taking the time out of our day to go do the drug screen, the physicals, I mean, this is like money on the line for us. That's time. You have to pay us for that. Literally, the company gave us an email, and they send you these emails every single day. Finish your modules, finish your physical, finish your drug test, finish your screening, finish your respiratory fit test. Okay, we get most of these done. These modules, I did not do the modules. I didn't do it on time. The stipulation with the modules was that before the strike gets called, you get a bonus, okay? So the bonus that we were quoted was $1,200. Like I said, I was already on a contract. I was uncertain that this strike would even happen. But Jeree was on it. She finished it, honestly, these modules, even 2 weeks before. Mm-hmm. She was certain that this was going to happen. Like I said, we did this in September. By the time, the end of October, we were just already looking at the Facebook groups, and we was like, okay, Kaiser's about to really call this. So she was like, do your modules, Shayla. And I was like, shit. I'll get to it. No, I was slow playing.
But in her defense, though, you were on a contract, and I know what it's like when you're on a contract and they want you to try to do the modules or whatever test before you're tired. You don't really want to focus on that. And she was working 5 days a week. Yeah. So I mean, there's that too. So
and I want to tell you guys, with the modules, they had us do. What was it? It's 2 modules that are actually freaking 5 hours long. Mm-hmm. You know, it takes forever.
If not longer, from glitches and everything. Because there's a couple times where I had the modules kind of close out on me, and then I had to go back in, and it would still be 3 pages behind, 4 pages or slides behind from where I had left off. So there was some glitches in there that weren't expected that made it take longer than it should have.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Strike number 2, their apps were glitching like no other. Like I said, if they said if we said we finished our physicals and everything like that, the app will say, no, you didn't. Mm-hmm. Now that's an issue. That's an issue that we need to talk to AMN or Health Source or whatever. And we need to get in touch with the recruiter or the critic, somebody in the company. We couldn't get in touch with nobody. Yeah. So listen, this messes with your money, because what you're supposed to do is get in touch with the credentialing analyst, and then you're supposed to get a good to go check so you can get your bonuses, right? But listen, I'm not going to say word for word, because we signed a small NDA, but it wasn't concerning necessarily a bonus, right? So what happened and what it entails was that before the strike is called, you're supposed to do your modules and your pre-employment, your physical, drug, respiratory, all of that stuff. Then you're supposed to call your recruiter or your credentialing analyst. They're supposed to give you a good to go, right? The good to go, they will send it to the payroll. Payroll will make sure that you will get $1,200. That is before the strike is called. That is the only way that you could get that bonus. Then, once you finish that, you have another bonus that is earned. There's a lot of keywords in what they were sending and in the contract, right? So, you have to go to the strike, be on the plane or driving there. You have to go to the strike. You have to finish your orientation. And then, what else did it say on there?
Yeah, there were online orientation that needed to be done, and then there was in-person orientation that needed to be done, which was basically the hospital had their staff come down and do like mini training or checklist just to make sure, give us an overview of what to expect depending on which facility that we were going to go to and depending on our modality. And then also going through like a little checkpoint to check off whether we were fully credentialed, whether we had our BLS, our COVID vaccination card, how we're going to get paid for payroll. That being said, even though there were all these hoops we had to jump through, a lot of that stuff was not organized. Even when we would ask questions to the people who were like in charge of it, they would still, I think there was it's supposed to be. No one knew what was going on.
What was going on? So red flag, 5,000. Okay. Why is the people that work within your side of your company, they can't even help us? This is money on the line, okay? We're not about to be doing modules and physicals for you for free. We're just not going to do it, okay? This is uncertain money to the fullest, But like I said, we kind of got saved, and it just happened by really pure fucking luck. So I'm going to read a few things from these emails that we get these emails every single day. And I want you to pull out a few keywords, and this is going to help you in the future for whatever that you sign, okay? And remind you, we're in California. These people don't want to pay you your money. Go to the California Labor Board. That's just as simple as that. This is what these people were doing, right? So it says, we're offering a good-to-go bonus of $1,200, which is earned upon completion of all credentialing and onboarding, once we receive a strike from the client. This includes completion of all credentialing requirements and proof of completion of the applicable assigned virtual onboarding modules, okay? Most people done that. A few people got the good to go, but remind you, red flag, if you could not get in touch with your credentialing analyst, how could you get this money if nobody would pick up the phone? That sounds like some scamming to me. Now, she got it, but it took a while to get in touch with somebody. It took a while, okay? So it says this in bold. Another $2,800, because you get $1,200, $2,800, but these are separate bonuses, and this is why. Another $2,800 is earned upon traveling to the assignment location and successfully completing all the remaining onboarding requirements, including completion of all additional assigned modules and orientation materials. Once you are in that hotel, like I said, I got demobilized from my contract. I was already in SoCal. I took the chance when the strike was called, and I was like, okay, since I can't get in touch with nobody, I'm just going to drive to the hotel that they sent to an email. These are confidential and everything. I drove there. I get there. I tell them the issue. I said, hey, I'm already in the system, but I could never get in touch with anybody. Can I get through? So she said, yeah, you're already in the system. Whole time I'm already in the system. Okay, cool. They give you this little wristband. The LPNs, we had like a green wristband and everything like that. And then you go to these stations, right? So these stations, the first one is just getting registered. Then the second one was trying to figure out, what did you do your pre-onboarding? Did you finish your modules? The third one was getting through payroll, making sure that you had your deposits down, or did you sign up for a check, like a check card, basically. I didn't sign up for that. I signed up for direct deposit through ADP. Then the fourth one was trying to understand the online orientation that we had, which you get paid for, and then you have in-person orientation, and they give you this folder full of and then papers.
Somewhere in between there was housing.
Housing. Listen, you go to 10 stations.
It was a lot.
It was a lot of people. From my understanding, we needed to have 30,000 nurses. Something around.
I think it was 31,000.
Yeah, it was
across the whole.
I bet you they couldn't get that many people. They just really couldn't. I really don't think so. So when I got there, once I got through the housing, the payroll, then you take a picture. You take your badge picture. Then they tell you when we get there, you can't have any nails, which was not in the contract. I didn't see that anywhere. So we come here together because she came like a day later. They seen our nails and they was like, oh, we don't want to send you home if you have nails. Where does that say? We panicking like we've been through hell to get here.
And then actually after I asked somebody where that came from, they said that there was something sent, and I honestly don't even remember where it was. But I mean, I did end up seeing it, but it was just so poorly conveyed that would have left a lot of people. I mean, had no one said anything, because no one actually said anything until like I think it was the second day we were there, and we went downstairs for something, and I grabbed something, or one of us had grabbed something, and she was like, "Oh, I don't want you to miss out on your money, but if I were you, I'd take those nails off because they're gonna turn you away.
You make a lot of money already, you know." Like she was like throwing that shit in our face, you know. So I was like, okay, that day we went to go take our nails off. I mean, brand new nails. We had to go take them off. Okay, cool, because we was about to go make them back.
Well, who cares?
We was like, who cares? We'll take them off. It's going to be just a week. We about to go home and go vacation. We didn't care. So once we got through all those stations, we were happy to see each other because I ain't seen Jerry forever. We stayed in the same hotel.